Hello there, chicks. Get back, come on. Tell them, Tom. Get back. Gonna check on Miss Splash Chicken. She's in her maternity ward. See how things are going with her. Hello, girlie. Everything going good? Huh? Still got a few days, don't you? Oh, you looking good. Looking good. Now, my chickens all have hanging waterers. I find that they are a lot healthier. See, that's the type I have. I bought that one and then realized that I could order the pieces myself and make my own for a lot cheaper. I'll put a link down below where you can see the little pieces. All it takes is a bucket and a drill and some time and patience. But this is my maternity ward. It's just a little makeshift one. And I have one girl who has decided she wanted to set all summer, and she was bound and determined, so she quit laying. So finally I gave her a few eggs that she could sit on just so she could fulfill her mission. But today is watering day. Every other day usually I try to top them all off. Now we're going out of town for the weekend. These big Rubbermaid totes, in the summertime they work fine. Wintertime, depending on where you are, they get real brittle real easily. But I picked these up somewhere for free and they make great waters. But if you notice, it's this time of year where the leaves are falling pretty bad. So topping them off and keeping fresh water in there, because as you notice that bugs and things like to accumulate in there. So like I said, every day in the summer I have to top these off just to make sure. And my chickens, they have little pans that I like to fill up with water. Because like I say, I have the waters. There's an orange one there. You can see a white one there. There are more inside the hen house of the automatic waterers with the little red nipples that they can peck at and get water whenever they want. But they still like drinking water from a pan. Thank you, Betty. That was right on time. As you see Betty over there doing exactly what I'm talking about. But every day in the summer, about every other day in the fall, just to make sure they have fresh water. The donkeys use this one, obviously. And my donkeys don't drink nearly as much as when I had the horses. Now we had ducks, and this was, I think one of the owners here before had this maybe as a dog pen or something. But it made a great pen for our rabbits. When we first moved here, we got rabbits. Look, these people, they understood recycle, reuse. And it worked so well, I left it. It's not the prettiest thing, but the rabbits found this little hole here that they really love. They dug down in there under the tree, had their babies, but somewhere along the way we decided we didn't want to be in the rabbit business for different reasons. But this made a great pen for them, made a great pen for our ducks later. And then the same thing, we enjoy getting the duck eggs, but ducks really need, well, in my opinion, ducks really need a place where they have a pond or running water or something, because redoing their pool every single day got to be more than the eggs were worth to us. Now we're very fortunate. On this property we have the original hand-dug well that we could still get water from. It still has the old bucket and chain that we could lower it. Matter of fact, when I moved in I had to do that because there was no running water yet. And there was also this deep well that they had dug somewhere along the way that just needed to be hooked up and power run to it. So we've not had a problem with running out of water because of lack of rain or anything like that. And it makes it really good to have a good water source here. Now obviously our other property in Montana is from a spring, but here we have the luxury of just going to the spigot and turning it on and topping off the water containers. As Jennie comes up to inspect the goings on, and Willie right behind her, they think it's early feeding time. But what I wanted to show you, and I'll dump this water so that I can show you, is the bucket here. Now, it was a brand new bucket for those of you who are saying, is it food grade or whatever? It was a new bucket, and I ordered these nipples off of Amazon. Like I said, I put the link below. I think it's a 5/8 drill bit. It comes with instructions, but you just tap it with a 5/8 very carefully, screw them in there, and the best thing in the world is the chickens don't get on top, they don't make a mess, they don't mess their water up, and it really is a lot better. Now, another thing that I do, and the donkeys move it all the time, you see this one, when I left this morning, was here. But I sit it there and I put a hole in the fence just big enough for their heads to go through, and I keep this filled with water because, like I say, a lot of times you have the older hens especially that really just like drinking from a water bowl or from a pool, if you will. So I keep that there where they can only stick their head through, but they can't foul up the water. Now, like I said, having the donkeys, they go to the smallest thing, and that's what they knocked over. And when I refill this, obviously I'll clean it back up. Now, our girls are pretty social. We started out with 3 chickens. We had a rooster and 2 hens that someone had left on their place and just abandoned them. So we went out one night when they roosted. There's Samuel Seabury, as he turns his backside to us. There was Sam, and he's made a great rooster. He's very gentle, he's very docile. He and Tom Petty there, they share the flock. Tom Petty, we have no problems with him with our hens. We did have turkey hens for a while and turkey eggs, but they were so squirrely acting and so spooky that we had a friend who wanted them more than we did. But we like to keep Tom Petty around because he had become such a pet to us. But after we had the original 3 hens, we quote unquote rescued one of these cinnamons that you see walking away from us here. It's amazing how much better she looks now. There were 4 of them that we called the Golden Girls because they were so old, but they had been in a hen house of some sort. And we got them and they were sickly, and they got our other 3 sick, and we started off with a mess. And then over time we got 2 or 3 more hens here and there. And what you see are a big mixture of all those, to where there's one of the Golden Girls there. That's Slewfoot. But almost all these that you see are all of their babies. And so Sam is the daddy, so they're a barnyard mix of Americana, California Whites, Australorps. I don't know what all we have out there that you can see there, but we have a good bunch of girls. And oh, here's one of ours from this year that has some beautiful markings. Looks a lot like her dad. Of course, this one is Chatty Cathy's daughter. And you see that she likes drinking their water from the container. And we have some buffs. And back in the very back is one of the original 3, and she is a great mother. We got 2 hatches from her this spring and summer. All right. Filling these up gives me a lot of time to do other things while I'm out here. Check my feed. If you saw the video the other day, you noticed that I had feeders that one of the old farmers who lived here before had made these great feeders out of stovepipe and baking pans. This one he put a plastic can there. But I don't keep feed in there anymore, and I'll tell you why. Is because the rodents compete with my chickens. So if I put feed in there at night, the next morning it would all be gone, and the chickens didn't eat it as much as I found out that the rats were eating it. So what I do now is I feed my girls in the morning. I feed them scratch feed and laying pellets, 15% usually is what I give them. And I feed them in the morning, and with the free range, they do fine. You can look at them and tell. There's one of Betty's daughters. They are very healthy birds, being able to eat all of the things that God intended them to eat with bugs and grass and whatnot. We supplement their nutrition with the pellets and also some oyster shell from time to time for their shells. But the feeders are convenient. Well, hello, Willie. But they also are convenient for feeding the rodents, which I do not like having rodents around because rodents tend to bring on the snakes as well. All right, as the last one gets filled. I know it. Rinse that one. Refill the one that I emptied. Now, it wasn't too dirty, but you know, chickens, all animals like fresh water. I don't know, some people might put in the comments that, you know, they'll drink anything. That's true, but I believe in giving them the best I can. So they get fresh water. Now, as far as making do with what you have, around the railroad tracks here, which are everywhere, they grow bamboo as a noise barrier. So when I built this pen a couple of years ago, I made it all out of bamboo for the rafters, for the poles and everything. This old barn was covered up in ivy and privet hedge and honeysuckle. Trees were growing out, sweet gum trees. We ripped all that out and realized that this used to be their chicken pen. So the inside was already perfect, and so we just had to come back and put the wire up. Of course, we're getting leaves this time of year. But my gate there, in the mornings, what I do is I put a rock there to keep the gate from closing the chickens out, and a rock on the outside to keep the donkeys from being able to come inside of here and get into donkey mischief. Now this water, I don't remember where I got this. This was one of the first ones I bought, and it was pricey. And like I said, I bought a couple of these before I realized I could make them on my own. These are great. There's nothing wrong with them. They do a great job. The chickens love them. Even the baby chicks, it doesn't take them very long to figure out how to get their water from there. This one comes with a little teepee on top to keep the chickens from being able to roost on there. But like I say, I prefer the ones that I can make for a few cents out of a bucket. And the pool over there was from the old duck pen. We no longer have the ducks. Well, it's that time of day, and I usually like to try to water in the mornings, because anything I do this time of day, it gets the chickens out of their groove. Because like right now, usually when the sun goes behind those trees, that's when they start liking to go inside, and Sam, the rooster, will start putting them up, and Tom Petty does a good job. And the donkeys come out because they think they're getting fed early. So trying to get out of there, get water done, because we're going out of town, and a friend's going to be watching the place. And I'll be back out in just a little while to feed and whatnot, feed the donkeys. And this is how they'll typically end their day. It's funny, they're very routine. They'll come in the yard for a while. They always end in this field that catches the last of the sunlight. It's where I have my little enclosed garden. It's all grown up now, tomatoes, peppers, and whatnot in there, beans, had some herbs. But they love this field out here, a lot of green grass for them. They love these leaves this time of year because it's still warm enough for bugs, and the leaves provide a little cover, and they love to get out and scratch and do their natural thing and just chicken, as April calls it. Beautiful evening, beautiful. So now it is about 20 minutes later, something like that. And Jennie, and we rescued Jennie, for those of you who are looking at her face. We rescued her 3 or 4 months ago, something like that. And she had been very neglected, and she is very pregnant. We're not sure when she's gonna have her baby, but we're hoping anytime soon, just not this weekend where we're going. But her face was really bad sunburn from being left in a feedlot out in Arkansas. They know what time it is. And usually they would be hollering at me by now. And Tom Petty, as you'll see here in a second, is always the last one to go in. I think he has taken this duty upon himself to make sure all the hens are up, and he'll guard this gate every night to make sure that when I put them up, that everybody's safe and secure. Everything is in place. That's it for the evening chores. Don't forget to hit like if you like us. If you don't like us, tell us in the comments why, and we'll try to fix it. Make sure you subscribe. Every like and subscribe helps us out. And like I said, I'll put in the comments below any questions you might have or anything that I might have mentioned. I'll put in the comments below, and we thank you so much for watching.